What if you knew some free Framer plugins that could handle some of the most repetitive work in Framer? Well, for this exact purpose, I went to the Framer marketplace and found 5 amazing Framer plugins that each solve a different problem. Stay till the end of this video where I will show you a way to get the exact Framer plugin that you need for your specific use case, whatever it might be. Oh, and if you need help that goes beyond Framer videos and tutorials, you can sign up for my Framer one-on-one tutoring and live website help counter service, the link for which you will find in the description down below. I'm Umar, this is Umar on Framer, and let's get right into it. Alright, so our first plugin is going to be for organization. Here you can see a design page in which I was exploring Framer shaders. And as you can see, the frames and stacks and all the stuff is all over the place. And what I would like to do is, maybe arrange them in a grid or just in a manner that is more clean. So for that, I'm going to use a very special plugin. So the way you can access any plugin in Framer is you would go to this canvas dropdown, click it, expand it, then go to this plugins tab, and then go to browse all, right? And here I would write tidy up. So this is our first plugin. I'm going to click on it. And once I click on it, it will load up. And as you can see here, there are various settings that you can use to customize the way that you want to organize your frames and your stacks, etc. So let's explore. Within layout, I would like grid is fine. Then I would like to sort them by height, okay? And the other options are position, width, area, and name. So let's choose width here. Why not? Let's see. Columns 4, 4 are good. Maybe let's say 5. I want 5 columns. And let's keep the column gap and row gap as it is. I'm going to click on this tidy up button and let's see what it does. Yeah, so as you can see, all my frames and stacks and breakpoints, etc. are sorted in a layout of grid, and they're sorted by width. There are 5 columns, and the column gap and the row gap is 100 pixels. This plugin is particularly useful when you have a project that has several breakpoints and the working canvas becomes difficult to scan or manage. Next up is a plugin that will take your worries away about deciding what colors to use on your website. Okay, so here you see a hero section that I designed in Framer. And maybe I want to convert it into a full-fledged website. And for that, I would need colors to use on it, right? And so what I can do is use a plugin that is called Color Gen. So I'm gonna write Color Gen here. And you can see it's right over here. I'm gonna click on it. And as you can see right over here, you can give it a base color. Let's say I want to give it this color, and it will generate a color palette based on that color from the darkest to the lightest shade. It even allows light and dark themes. And if you go to the library tab, you can see all these options that you can choose from. So it's Tailwind CSS right now. Let's go Adobe Spectrum Light plus Dark. Google Material. So, you have all these options, right? And you can create all these styles. So let's go back to the main section and let's generate a color palette for our website. So let's say shader hero, and now create styles. Okay, so as you can see on the left-hand side, under the color styles folder, I have all these colors that are generated as part of the color palette for this website. If you do not have a custom brand color and simply want an established system, Color Palettes is a good alternative. It brings Tailwind palettes into Framer, lets you choose specific shades, and can generate dark mode versions. So I would choose Color Gen for a custom brand color and Color Palettes when I want a ready-made Tailwind scale quickly. So the next 2 plugins work well together. One helps you create a typography system, and the other helps you manage it. Let's keep working in the same project. What I want to do now is have specific text styles for my text layers, mainly to organize and streamline my typography. Right now, I have different text styles applied to different text layers randomly. They aren't connected to any specific set text styles that I can reuse throughout my project. For that, I'm going to use a plugin that is called Typescale Generator. Once I click on this plugin, you would see that you would get this pop-up. You can set a base font size and a scale ratio. Then you can even choose a design system. And then you can apply these settings to all your text layers or just set up text styles for your website. Let's keep these same settings and let me just click apply. Okay, so as you can see, Typescript generator says typography styles are updated. And on the left hand panel, you can see under styles, under the text folder, you would see all of these text styles, and they relate to different text layers that I can use on my website. For example, what I can do is basically connect the text layer for this button to a text style that is generated by Typescript generator. I will click on this text layer, go to styles, and then maybe choose button here. And as you can see, the style is changed. If I want to use the same color as I was using before, I can just go back to the previous settings, copy this color, and go to the button style and just change the color right over here. So now that the color is changed. So now if I bind this back to the button text style, as you can see, it is now a text style. And you can use and edit all the other text styles generated by Typescript generator the same way for your website. Now, creating these text styles and color styles is only half the job. The next problem is maintaining them once the project grows. For that, we have a very special plugin that is called Style Manager. So I'm loading up Style Manager right now, and as you can see, once this is loaded up, it shows me all the colors that I have generated for this website through ColorGen plugin, and also all the text styles that I generated through the Typescript generator. Now, if I ever want to maybe edit a text style or delete it or know where it is, I can do it from this plugin. For example, we've already used this button text styles here, right? I'm going to click on this, and here you can see all the various details about the text style itself. Its own text settings, the specific breakpoint settings, and all this stuff. So once I edit all this stuff here, it will also propagate through the rest of the website. Now you might be wondering that other than this pop-up layout and the search bar, what else is there that basically sets it apart from the panel, from the assets panel that you already have with Framer, right? A few things that are different and are helpful are the filters and also these options that you can see right over here. You can export styles, you can copy styles in JSON, you can import styles even, and there are various keyboard shortcuts as well. So it's a pretty handy tool. Coming in last, yet still the most powerful plugin, is Workshop, which is by Framer itself. It's an AI-powered plugin that generates Framer components for your project. I'm going to show its powers and limitations. Let's explore it together. Here you see floating pill navigation. This is a component that I made with Framer Workshop, and it is even featured on the Framer Marketplace. So you can grab it for free if you want for your projects. Now, to access Framer Workshop, you would follow this exact same process as you did for other plugins. You would go to the plugins tab and then search for Workshop, right? Once you open Workshop, you would see basically a chat interface that resembles just general AI chats. As you can see, I already have had many conversations with Workshop for this component. It took many iterations to get to the final result, but I did get here. Now, if I want to edit this component, of course, I would talk to Workshop, and it will just make changes as it goes. I can even give it image references by clicking this plus sign, and it will make custom components for me for my specific needs, right? Now, Framer Workshop is a powerful free Framer plugin that creates customizable code components from prompts. But there's one limitation worth understanding. The Workshop chat and Framer agent use the same workspace AI credit system. The free plan gives you a limited allowance with both daily and monthly caps, so you cannot treat AI generation as completely unlimited. And this is where external agents come into play. If you already use tools like Codex or Claude Code, there's another option. These external agents connect to your Framer projects via MCP and use the same AI subscriptions that you already use for your workflow. That means the work does not consume your Framer AI credits. So the point of the matter is you can take this one step further. You can use these external agents, Codex or Claude Code or whatever you use, to make your own Framer plugin. For example, if you start your projects with the same kind of typography scale, color palettes, semantic tags, and naming structure, you can prompt and ask your external agent to create that Framer plugin for you so you don't have to juggle between several plugins for your project every time. You will still need to describe the rules clearly, test the results, see the changes, etc., but you would not need to write any line of code for that Framer plugin. And don't worry if you don't know where to start with external agents. I have a whole video where I connect Codex to Framer and use it on a real project. So you can check out that video if you want. I will leave the link to it in the description down below. And if you found any value in this video, kindly like the video and consider subscribing or following me if you want to see more of these videos. Check out other videos on this channel, and if you have any feedback or thoughts to share, comments are open for that. And if you want to get in touch with me personally, you can do that through my X account, the link for which you will see in the description down below if you're watching this video on YouTube. But that's it for today's video, and I will see you in the next one.